So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
You just don't hear that from men often, that they would express that, an emotion that makes them vulnerable.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake dropped his first single of his upcoming 6th studio album. And I gotta say, Selfish is not what I was expecting. It's a pleasant track. I don't hate it. Justin told Zane Lowe on Apple Music yesterday that the reason he chose it as the first single was because it proved to be very catchy.
The more I played it for the people around me, the more I would notice them singing it for days after.
I want every bit of you. I guess I'm selfish.
It hasn't hooked me yet, but it might still. Some celebrities are showing their love for it in Justin's Instagram comments, including his NSYNC bandmate Lance Bass used the praise emoji, Ty Dolla $ign added some fire, Tanya Tucker had heart eyes emojis for it, as did Justin's two-time collaborator Nelly Furtado, while Kate Bosworth says it's so good. Even if you love Selfish, I think we all can admit this is not an explosive return for Justin Timberlake. Like, I'm trying to figure out the strategy here.
How long have you been working on this?
4 years.
This album, Everything I Thought It Was, is a follow-up to his 2018 album, Man of the Woods, which is seen as a critical and commercial disappointment. The consensus seemed to be it was too melancholy, too folky, leaned a little bit more into the country side of things, didn't deliver the beats that he usually does. Coincidentally or not, it was the least involved Timbaland has ever been in a Justin Timberlake album. So he only co-produced and co-wrote 3 of the tracks of the 18 tracks, and then he co-wrote a 4th track, okay? Now, starting 3 years later in 2021, the hype around Justin's 6th album started to be that he was back working with Timbaland. December 29th, 2021, Timbaland posts this video on Instagram with Justin in the studio.
We all grow through this point where we have a point to prove. And I believe we met each other at the crossroads. And it's like, what you feeling like?
Then in February of last year, the guys told Beat Club that they were ready to prove that they could still bring it.
Every time we take a break and then come back and do one of my next albums, what do you want to prove to yourself?
Yeah.
That's the mentality that starts to happen, and we push each other.
Then last April, Timbaland told Variety that the album was fun, Justin. It's like Future Sex Love Sounds, but nothing too heavy. Just giving you what you expect from us. We said we wanted to feel like Future Sex Part 2, so we did songs that will fit that. In September, he hypes the first single, to E.T.
That first single could be serious. Can't tell you the title. Just know it's good.
4 months later, we get the first single, Selfish, which isn't fun. It's not a return to beats.
And I don't want any other guys taking my place, girl, I got too much pride.
It turns out it's a track that Timbaland has nothing to do with. He's not a co-writer, not a co-producer, nothing. That just seems like an odd decision to me. Like it's been, yeah, I'm back with Timbaland, and yeah, we're gonna recapture that Future Sex sound and that magic, and yeah, we're gonna prove that we can still bring the beats. And here's the first single. Oh no, Timbaland has nothing to do with this one. Huh?
There for the whole world to see.
And there's no way that Selfish was by far the best track on the album. No, come on. And Justin said in his Apple Music interview that Selfish is not an indication of what the rest of the album sounds like.
There's a lot of fun on
There's
this
a lot of tempo and a lot of fun on this record.
It's fun, it's dancey, it's ballad, there's so surprises on there. It's good, it's a wop, 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 wop. There's that in there, there's all sorts of fun stuff.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
There you go.
So it sounds like the rest of the album is going to be the fun Justin, the return to Future Sex Love Sounds. So why are we getting the most Man of the Woods sounding track as the first single? I don't get it. Justin says the album title, Everything I Thought It Was, came from his friends reacting to the 18-song collection.
I was playing it for people around me. They're like, oh, this sounds like everything we know you for. And then, another friend of mine was like, oh, this sounds like everything I thought I wanted from you.
I don't think people are hearing Selfish and going, oh, this is what I know Justin Timberlake for. Like, this is what Man of the Woods was missing. Like, this is back to the My Love, Sexy Back, Love Stone, Sonic that I love from Justin. Not at all. Like, watching Timbaland's tease, 2ET, from September again.
That first single could be serious. Can't tell you the title. Just know it's good.
His tone doesn't line up with Selfish for me. Like, I mean, he made it sound like it's gonna be, oh, this is gonna be like in your face, like, oh, Justin's gonna bring it, like, get ready. Oh, no, we're getting a pleasant mid-tempo ballad. It makes me suspect that at some point after that Timbaland interview in September, till this past week, Justin switched up what the first single would be. But why? Only reason, because none of this makes any sense. The only thing that makes sense to me is, as Justin said, this song.
You just don't hear that from men often, that they would express that, an emotion that makes them vulnerable.
He's vulnerable, he's sympathetic on the track. could possibly win over some people that haven't been feeling very sympathetic towards Justin in the last few months since a certain book dropped in late October. That's the only thing that makes sense to me to drop this as the first single when it just doesn't line up with anything else we've heard about this album so far. And as I finished up this segment, wouldn't you know, I checked out Twitter and noticed that Britney was trending, as her fans have decided to resurrect Britney's 2011 track called Selfish, which is part of the Femme Fatale Deluxe Edition. And it has now topped Justin's Selfish track on the iTunes chart, and even radio is now getting behind playing the 13-year-old bonus track.
Britney fans decided to bring it back to the top. It's on the charts yet again, and I'm sure she's twirling in her living room to this one right now.
So if releasing Selfish as a single was a white flag, so to speak, to Britney fans, it's clear they aren't accepting it. What are your thoughts on Justin's Selfish? Does it surprise you that he introduced this album with a non-Timbaland track that isn't a return to future sex form?